The magic has run out for the Kansas City Chiefs. With their elimination from playoff contention, the Chiefs' dynasty is over. And to make matters worse, Patrick Mahomes has suffered a torn ACL. How did a team that used to dominate the AFC, including making the Super Bowl in 5 of the last 6 seasons, fall so far? In this video, we'll break down how the Chiefs dynasty may in fact be over. This actually wasn't the first time we thought the Chiefs' grip on the AFC was over. Back in the spring of 2022, the Chiefs were coming off of a disappointing finish of their season. They just lost to the Cincinnati Bengals, blowing an 18-point lead as Joe Burrow rallied Cincy to a huge upset win in Arrowhead. Mahomes threw a terrible interception, and this led to the Bills kicking a game-winning field goal to head to the Super Bowl. For the first time since 2018, the Chiefs weren't in fact representing the AFC. They were going home. In that very same offseason, GM Brett Veach decided to make a massive move in the roster by trading Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins in a blockbuster trade, and many thought, how would the Chiefs ever return to the Super Bowl without the best downfield threat of all time? Mahomes silenced the doubters by having one of the best seasons of his career. He won MVP and led the Chiefs to another Super Bowl over the Philadelphia Eagles, also winning Super Bowl MVP honors. In 2023, the first cracks began to show in Kansas City as their receiving room led the league in drops. Their defense, led by Steve Spagnuolo, was still very elite and carried the team while the offense continued to struggle. For the first time in the Mahomes era, the Chiefs finished outside the top 2 seeds in the AFC, meaning that after their win over the Miami Dolphins in the wildcard round, that they'd be on the road for the first time ever in the playoffs. Mahomes did just enough to lead the Chiefs in a road win against the Buffalo Bills at Orchard Park and later against the Baltimore Ravens. This led to the Chiefs returning to the Super Bowl to face a familiar foe in the San Francisco 49ers, whom Mahomes beat to win his first ever Super Bowl. The game was a microcosm of the Chiefs' season. Their offense struggled while their defense kept them in the game. Eventually, Mahomes led the Chiefs down the field and delivered a strike to Mecole Hardman as the Chiefs became the first team to go back-to-back in 20 years. This brings us to 2024. Dynasty talks were brought up in pursuit of the NFL's first ever three-peat. In the Super Bowl era, no team has ever won 3 in a row, and their best finish was making their respective conference championship game. But the Chiefs were poised to return to the Super Bowl and finish it off. They finished the year 15-2 with their 2 losses coming against Josh Allen and the Bills, and a meaningless loss to the Denver Broncos when they sat out their starters. Despite the record, the Chiefs weren't exactly dominating, as their average margin of victory was just 7 points and were an unprecedented 12-0 in one-possession games. The season was full of crazy situations that made fans wonder, are they the luckiest team of all time? They beat the Baltimore Ravens on opening night with Isaiah Likely having a toe out of bounds. They beat several teams when it came down to the final kick by either blocking a field goal or knocking in a field goal off an upright, and this really made people wonder, when would the Chiefs' luck finally run out? That day finally came February 9th of 2025. The Chiefs returned to the Super Bowl, becoming the first team ever to win back-to-back championships and advance to the Super Bowl, beating the Texans and Bills along the way. In Super Bowl 59, the Chiefs faced the Philadelphia Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch from 2 seasons ago. This time, the Eagles were much improved. Their defense was even better than the one that the Chiefs faced in 2022, improving tremendously in the secondary and generated turnovers at an extremely high clip, and their offense was rounding into form, having just scored 55 points in the NFC Championship game, and also touted the league's best running back in Saquon Barkley, who ran for 2,000 yards in the regular season. When it came time to play, the Eagles beat the brakes off the Chiefs in every facet of the game, dominating the line of scrimmage, especially on defense, and this led to Mahomes having a nightmare first half. Mahomes threw 2 interceptions, with one being a pick 6 to Cooper DeJean, and the second half got no better. Mahomes was under duress all night long as the sacks continued to pile up and they came in bunches. The Chiefs' offensive line had 0 zero answers for the tenacious Eagles defensive line, as they sacked Mahomes 6 times, a career high. Every time Mahomes stepped back to pass, there was always an Eagles defender in his face. On top of it, the receivers weren't getting a single ounce of separation, including the future Hall of Fame tight end Travis Kelce, who looked completely out of sorts and dropping a key pass in the first half and didn't come up with a single catch until late in the third quarter. The Eagles held a 34-0 lead and eventually won 40-22, as this was mainly due to the Eagles taking several of their starters off the field as the Chiefs piled on a few garbage time touchdowns toward the final minutes. Philly exposed all of the Chiefs' weaknesses and humiliated Kansas City in front of the entire world as they were trying to make NFL history. The 2025 season has been a nightmare from the start, and it all began in Sao Paulo, Brazil, as the Chiefs lost to the Los Angeles Chargers and then later lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in a Super Bowl rematch to start 0-2 for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era. Things momentarily got back on track as the Chiefs began to pile up some wins, and they were entering November with a 5-3 record. Since then, they have lost 5 out of their next 6 games, with the latest being a loss on Sunday Night Football to the Houston Texans. The Texans manhandled the Chiefs' offensive line, leading to Mahomes to have one of the worst performances of his career. 3 picks and a career-low passer rating of just 19.8, as the Chiefs dropped to 6-7. The Chiefs entered Week 15 facing a scenario where they could be eliminated from playoff contention. The Chargers didn't pull any punches, rallying from a 10-point deficit where Justin Herbert, 2 games removed from breaking a bone in his left hand, led a masterful 2-minute drill, including several laser passes to get Los Angeles into the end zone and seizing momentum before halftime. In the second half, the Chargers defense shut out the Chiefs while kicking 2 field goals of their own to take the lead midway through the fourth quarter. The Chargers also did a great job in holding off the Chiefs' comeback effort as they knocked the defending AFC champions out of the playoffs for the first time since 2014. Remarkably, getting eliminated wasn't the worst outcome for the Kansas City Chiefs that afternoon. Entering Sunday's matchup, Mahomes already had a bad left knee, but it wasn't something that was going to keep him out of the lineup, especially with the Chiefs' season hanging in the balance. Towards the end of the game, Mahomes was driving the Chiefs into field goal range to tie up the game. Against a fierce Chargers pass rush, Mahomes was trying to escape pressure, running out to the right side, but went down awkwardly on his left knee. Mahomes held onto his knee and later hobbled off the field and never returned. Gardner Minshew would enter the game to try and keep the Chiefs' season alive, but threw a game-ending interception to Derwin James, and just like that, the Chiefs' season was over. Initial tests and later an MRI confirmed the Chiefs' worst nightmare, that Mahomes did in fact tear his ACL but also his LCL, which means not only is his season done, but this could also mean that Mahomes may not be able to start opening day next season. Typically, a torn ACL is around a 9 to 12 month recovery. The injury occurred on December 14th, which puts the earliest return date right around the season opener for the 2026 season. As an Eagles fan, I've been down this road before with Carson Wentz. In 2017, Wentz tore his ACL on December 10th and suffered similar damage to Patrick Mahomes in his knee. Carson would go on to miss the entire offseason and return September 23rd, which led him to miss 2 games the 2018 season. All recovery times are different, but it's likely that Mahomes will miss all of the offseason programs, including OTAs, minicamps, training camp, and even the preseason. That's terrible considering that Mahomes and the Chiefs receivers never seem to be on the same page dating back to 2023. Chemistry is so important, and since Mahomes will be rehabbing his knee throughout the entire offseason, it'll likely mean that they'll have to put the Chiefs' offense together on the fly during the regular season. Kansas City should take the rest of the season to evaluate the roster and also try to improve their draft position. The Chiefs currently sit with the 12th overall pick, but easily could move inside the top 10 if they continue to lose. This could be a way out of salary cap hell, all, as the Chiefs are currently $35 million over the salary cap, with several free agents coming off the books next season. The entire backfield are all free agents, and then all their receivers except Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy are also free agents. Travis Kelce will likely retire at the end of the season, and this means there's an opening at tight end as well. The 2026 draft is slated to be a meat and potatoes draft. While it may lack top-tier quarterback talent, which obviously the Chiefs don't need, it's full of talented players, including edge rushers, defensive tackles, offensive tackles, cornerbacks, and even wide receivers. And this could allow the Chiefs to get elite talent on cheap rookie scale contracts. Last offseason, they did address offensive line, but they did suffer numerous injuries across the board. And it got so bad in 2025 that Kansas City was sending out practice squad linemen to protect Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes did take a lot of hits against the Houston Texans and also 5 sacks against the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chiefs need to continue to protect their franchise quarterback by investing in the trenches, and I think particularly their weakness is at left guard. Now, in the 2025 NFL Draft, I think they did a good job by selecting Josh Simmons, who was arguably the best tackle in the draft before suffering an injury with Ohio State. When he did suit up for his rookie year, I thought Josh Simmons did a pretty solid job in protecting Mahomes' blindside, but then he suffered a season-ending wrist injury, and this led to the Chiefs sending the aforementioned practice squad members to protect him to start in his place. The Chiefs have to consider an emphasis in the run game as well, and I would think it would be wise to take a running back on day 2, especially, and even another wide receiver to fill in the void with Travis Kelce's impending retirement. Rashee Rice has been solid but unreliable with off-the-field issues, and this season in particular, he's had a huge case of the drops ever since returning from suspension. Xavier Worthy has had flashes in the pan, but seriously needs to develop in year 3 to stick out as more than just a gadget player. Defensively, Chris Jones has clearly lost a step, and he simply hasn't been a game changer like he used to be to threaten quarterbacks. The Chiefs are in desperate need of another edge rusher, as they did take a swing at George Karlaftis and have had mixed results, but lately he's been widely inconsistent, and this could lead the Chiefs to try and scope out other options at edge rusher. While adjustments to the roster will eventually be addressed by Brett Veach, their coaching staff might also undergo some changes. Offensive coordinator Matt Nagy has taken over for former offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy, but the offense has since fell off. Despite this, he could garner some head coaching interest, as he has already had a gig earlier in his career with the Chicago Bears. The real question is, how long will Andy Reid keep coaching? He's currently under contract until 2029, but he is 67 years old. There's no indication whether or not he retired, but I would say there's maybe a 10% chance he could actually retire as early as next year. The timing would be ideal. The Chiefs are heading into a transition period where they could be retooling for 2027. While the timing could be ideal as the Chiefs are heading into a transition period, consider the options where Mahomes could take a year to get fully healthy. 2027 could be the year where they head back into the playoff mix, and why wouldn't Reid want to be here for Patrick Mahomes' second act of his career? Like the Patriots, the Chiefs have taken advantage of an extremely weak division to bolster their record throughout the years, as they continue to rack up 5 to 6 wins just from their division alone. But within the last 2 seasons, the division has gotten far more competitive, and even the conference as a whole has seemingly caught up to the Kansas City Chiefs, as we've seen the revivals of the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. Additionally, the Chargers and the Texans have become strong foes within the conference and division to give the Chiefs more competition. But let's also not act like the Chiefs have had some unprecedented luck during their time atop the AFC. They've gotten the benefit of numerous calls, lucky bounces, and even coin tosses going their way. Just last season, the Chiefs Chiefs were 12-0 in one possession games, but this year they have fallen to 1-7. All those deep runs to the playoffs have seemingly burnt out the roster and even the coaching staff. We must give the Chiefs credit for the amazing run that they've had, but it seems that the football gods have decided to humble them in 2025. The timing comes at a good place, like I mentioned earlier, where they have a chance to get younger and also retool while Mahomes gets healthy. 2026 might be a down year for the Kansas City Chiefs, but it would be smart for their front office to retool the roster and eventually try to go all in. Time will tell if the Chiefs will ever return to their dynastic peak, but until then, we'll have to sit back and be a spectator.